Hello mountain bikers and welcome back to your favorite gear show. The first month of 2024 has been dominated by racing team news of all sorts, but we've still got some fresh gear to kick off the new year. We've got some sweet new apparel from Down Under and a seriously squishy shock from France on the menu today, but before we get into the reviews, time for our customary industry news roundup with a month in a minute. Let's dig in. OneUp makes one of the most popular dropper posts on the market, so it's pretty exciting when they announce a whole new version. The V3 is lighter, more compact, and reportedly even more reliable than its predecessor. We've got one headed our way for testing, so stay tuned for a review to drop soon. Hope has mated its super light XCR brake lever to its E4 caliper to create another option for your next lightweight trail bike build. They're also making it available in the 6 traditional Hope colors for a little extra bling. It's been a busy month for Hope, as they also just introduced a downhill version of their new Pro 5 hub. This one is made to be mated to a 7-speed DH cassette, which makes room for wider flange spacing. E13 has completely revamped its line of wheels, releasing new models for everything from trail bikes to full-on downhill bikes, not forgetting the e-bike specific versions too. There's a full article up on our site if you want to learn more. Links are in the description below. YT has just dropped the Capra Core 5, a mouth-watering build featuring Öhlins suspension, SRAM Transmission GX, and Crank Brothers synthesis wheels. For those looking for something much simpler, DHaRCO has introduced the Saguaro, a 29-inch hardtail built to be the most versatile bike in your quiver. And to close out this news section, it's no secret that these are tough times in the bike industry, so we were extra pleased to hear some good news from Orange Bikes. The company went into administration last month, but has now been able to restructure its ownership and will continue trading. Onwards and upwards then. Never a dull moment in the bike industry, eh? Okay then, let's move on to the reviews. First up, let's head to France. Among the rolling hills of a tiny town called Pleston in Brittany, you'll find a small manufacturer of mountain bike suspension called Fast Suspension. Born out of one man's passion for making things better, Fast got started in motorsports but has been focusing on mountain bike suspension since 2015, when they introduced their very first rear shock called the Holy Grail. Jumping ahead to 2023, Fast dropped their latest product, a simplified yet sophisticated coil shock called the Ride. It comes in either a downhill or an enduro version. We've been testing the latter, so that's the one we'll be discussing here today. The Ride is a coil shock equipped with a number of features inherited from the company's flagship product, the Phoenix Evo. The idea behind the Ride was to offer a shock that provides a lot of control with a smooth feel without suffering from any bottom-out harshness, all while reducing the complexity of the product to hit a lower price point. The key to the architecture is a mid-speed compression valve which sits between the low and high-speed compression circuits. It allows Fast to really dial in the amount of support the shock can offer without introducing unwanted harshness in the overall system. On the high-end Phoenix Evo and the new Ride D for downhill, the mid-speed valve is externally adjustable, while on the new Ride E for enduro, it is set internally from the factory according to the bike characteristics and the rider requirements. To control bottom-out events, Fast has developed a hydraulic bottom-out system that allows the energy to dissipate by displacing hydraulic fluid over the last 25% of the shock's travel, and thanks to a shim stack on the HPO piston, it can be tuned and adjusted to match the rider and the bike. The piston floats on its mounting spot on the shaft to allow it to align itself perfectly with the HPO cup, which provides for smoother action. It can also move up and down a bit on the shaft to allow it to release oil during the rebound phase without creating a vacuum behind it, which could otherwise lead to a sticky feeling in the shock when it rebounds from a deep compression. On the compression side of things, the new Ride E-Shock features a triple mode circuit, which uses a combination of orifices and shim stacks to control the oil flow. This setup provides multiple paths that the oil can take during different types of compression events, depending on the mode it is set to: open, flow, and climb, selected via an external lever. There are several bass tunes to choose from to make sure the shock will match the bike characteristics. To test this new shock, we mounted it up to our Transition Smuggler long-term test bike. Our shock came with a couple of springs to let us play around with spring rates while testing. On the climbs, this frame exhibits a bit of bobbing, something that the flow position on the shock immediately took care of. Flow is meant to be used wherever you need a more dynamic response out of your bike, on climbs and on flatter trails. We found it did such a good job of limiting bobbing that we almost never saw a need to reach for the actual climb position on the shock, except for prolonged fire road climbs perhaps. On the way back down, the Ride is incredibly comfortable and very well controlled without showing any signs of harshness. With Flow-Mo engaged on the shock for the descents, the bike rides a tiny bit higher in its rear travel and will react a bit more to rider input, but once again without adding much, if any, harshness. In open mode, you get all the benefits of that sweet coil feel, but without the bike turning into a slouch. It remained poppy and fun to ride. Fast has really done a good job with the tune, which is especially important on a shock without much in the way of external adjustments. As for the hydraulic bottom out, this is one of our favorite features on this new shock. The way it lets you sink into the last part of travel in a very controlled way is really confidence-inspiring. A coil shock is hard to beat when it comes to comfort, and a good coil shock will also offer the amount of control needed to really make your bike better. Fast has developed and/or refined several key technologies that really bring a plus to your ride in our opinion, and the fact that they've managed to package it all up in a more affordable product now is really cool. Simple is not easy, but Fast has pulled it off remarkably well with the ride shock, and we have no reservations about recommending that you trust these Fast Frenchies with your next suspension upgrade. The downhill Australian race company was born out of a desire to bring some of Australia's surf culture to mountain biking apparel. By blending those colourful, laid-back beach vibes with high-performance fabrics, DHaRCO has created an identity all of its own, and it has already achieved global success between the tapes with Commensal's flagship race team, led by Amaury Piron and Myriam Nicole. The company just dropped its 2024 line, so we thought we'd take this opportunity to share our thoughts on it with you. Starting out from the bottom, DHaRCO makes a riding pant and a riding short, both under the Gravity name. Made from a lightweight yet durable fabric, both items are cut for on-bike performance and include a number of neat little features. There are 3 pockets on both the pant and the short, one of which is tucked away around the back of the hem, which is not where pockets are usually found. Some of our testers like this aspect, others get along with it less. At any rate, all 3 pockets are functional and offer enough storage for your phone, keys, a small wallet, and a multi-tool if you so wish. The waistband can be adjusted down thanks to 2 Velcro tabs, but it's not very elastic, so it won't be able to stretch to accommodate you in that direction, something to keep in mind when it comes to sizing. Our young gun wearing the pants here is 1.81 m and weighs 80 kilos. He has to sink this size L, or 34, pant down quite a bit, while our more senior tester, that's me, is on the upper limit at 1.84 m and 88 kilos or so. For our bigger tester, the fit is the tightest around the front of the legs, where as a result, the pockets also feel a bit tight. On the trail, both the pant and the short function perfectly, and both our testers reported good things even after longer days out in the saddle. For the top, let's start with what has become one of our absolute favorite pieces of riding apparel, the Tech Tee. It's made with a dry release fabric, a blend of cotton and polyester that feels like cotton on the skin, but dries out way faster. It also doesn't feel too clingy on the skin, even when properly soaked. For those riding in warmer climates, this one is a bit of a game changer, and you've probably already seen us wearing it in quite a few Gear Show episodes last year already. We've got some new colors now to mix it up, so we're stoked. DHaRCO is of course best known for their fun-loving approach to design, and nothing embodies this spirit more than the Tech Party shirt. This full-on Hawaiian print even sports buttons and a collar to really confuse people in the lift line, but it's made from a high-performance polyester and spandex blend that is ready for anything you can throw at it. Better be ready to back it up with some steez though. On the more classic side of things, the race and gravity jerseys take a more traditional approach to design. Based on recycled polyester fabrics, they were made to feel comfortable and wick away moisture. The race jersey is very light and features a more ventilated fabric. The fit is quite slim, which should help provide that all-important aero advantage in racing situations. The gravity jersey is a little bit more sturdy and is the one recommended if you spend some or most of your riding time pushing your limits in the bike park, including the occasional dirt nap. Both jerseys are nice and soft on the inside, without that dreaded cling wrap feeling that polyester apparel used to have a few years ago still. All in all, we've been impressed with the quality, fit and function of DHaRCO's riding apparel, and there's no denying it looks pretty fresh too. If having fun on the trail is the name of your game, it's well worthy of your attention. Okay then, that's the end of the show. We hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for taking the time to tune in. As always, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and until next time, happy trails.